All right, what's up? I'm going to be doing an install on the cold air intake in the WRX today, and I'll be walking through what the point of a cold air intake is, and obviously how to do the install, how to swap it. Right now, this one's been in there for about a year and a half now, which I don't have to change it, but it's getting a little bit dirty, so I'm just going to go ahead and put a fresh one in. So we're going to go ahead and go through the steps of how to change it out. All right, so here's the box for the cold air intake filter. This one's made by Cobb, because most of the parts on the car are made by Cobb, which is just like an aftermarket tuning company. So we'll go ahead and unbox this thing. Alright, so this is what the filter looks like. It's just like a little cone shaped filter. Hopefully that will focus. So we'll go ahead and take it out of the bag. Alright, and there we go. So it looks like this. Just a little cone filter. It has oil around the edges and stuff just to make sure that it's a flush fit. So now we'll go ahead and take the old one off the car. All right, so the next step is going to be go in your car, pop the hood. We're going to go back over there. All right. And then every car has a different location for the cold air intake. In this case, there is a forced induction piping that comes right in here. So I'll be able to see it when you come in there. And then there it is right in there. You can kind of see a little bit of the, there we go. You can see some of the filter right there. You can see this one's kind of old and dirty. It's got some bends, but it stays in this little housing right here. That's the Cobb cold air intake box. And then it goes through there, so the air gets sucked into the intake, which just goes through the intake piping, which then goes down through there, and then down into the turbo, which is down there. So let's get into taking apart this box, which we need to do to get access to the air intake so we can replace it. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and take apart the 4 bolts that are kind of holding the box together. So we can take those apart, and then we'll have access to the cold air intake, and we can start taking it apart off of the induction piping, and then we'll get ready to switch it to the new one. So go ahead and start doing that. Okay, so I just got these 4 screws undone there. So these 4, that now we can lift up this plate right here, and voila, there's the cold air intake. See, looking a little bit dirty there, a little bit old. Got some debris on there. There's the oxygen sensor right there, as you can see. But yep, there's the cold air intake. So that's what we're going to be replacing right now. So I'm going to go ahead and put this to the side, and I will record taking this thing apart. All right, so now we're going to be taking off the cold air filter right there. All you need is a flathead screwdriver, and you're going to use that to get rid of this gasket right here to loosen that up. And that's kind of like a sleeve that will then let it slide off of this induction piping right here. So we're going to come on down here. And just loosen this gasket right here, just enough to get it off, and then hopefully this should just kind of, or you can just drop it directly down into your bumper. Try to avoid that, because now I have to just get, it's fine. It's great if you can skip this step. All right, there we go. All right, last. All right, so now we have the old cold air intake. So I'll bring this back so we can focus. There we go. Oops. Anyway, this is now, there you go. That is the cold air intake, the old one. So you can go ahead and see how this one's all gross and old. And now go get the other one so we can compare these. So here's the difference. You can see huge difference. This one's much nicer. This one's out of date, old, dirty. So this one should make a big difference, and nice increase in airflow and all of that. So I'll go ahead and put this one back in. All right. Now we're gonna go ahead and install the new fresh one. So we're gonna go through the same process. We're gonna try not to drop it or scrape it too much, like I just did. All right. Sometimes it's a little hard to get on there. You gotta play with it or just drop it again. It's kind of hard with the way that this design is in this little box, because you gotta get it all the way in and around. There we go. There we go. Slipper nice on like that. Oh. And try not to bend all of the new filter things like I just did. That's not what you want to do. As you can see right there, I kind of just bent some of these. So I'm going to try to bend those back a little bit. Just because that's a waste since I just bought this. Alright, well, that's fine. Not great, but fine for now. So yeah, try not to use the fins there as your leverage for installing it. Sweet, I did it again. I just bent a bunch of these too. So yeah, I would say like don't, if you can, try not to use the little fins as hard as it is when you're putting it in, but it should be fine. Alright, so now new filter's in. We're just gonna take this and then just make sure that the whole thing is on. Seems like it is. And then just tighten that filter back on. Tighten the gasket around it, I should say. Alright. And then that shouldn't be going anywhere. It's cool. Alright. And then I'm just going to all you're going to do is just reverse the steps and then just put that plate back on and then just secure the floor again, and that should be all you need to do to install a new cold air intake. Alright. Last step. We go ahead and put the plate back on. Just double check everything. Everything looks pretty good. Looks nice and new and clean. Hopefully that'll lead to some nice new lower induction temperatures. Just gonna go ahead and just re-put all of these in. Also remember to never over tighten these, just in case you could, like, if you need to take them off again, like nothing's permanent on a car really that you're gonna be working on. So make sure that everything you put in goes in nice and delicate. You definitely want to be able to last, but you don't want to be like too permanent when you go to take it back off eventually, like you gorilla tightened it all the way in and then now you're stuck. Also, what I'm doing right now, usually it's a good idea to put them all in lightly before you tighten one all the way, then tighten the other one all the way. It just allows for it to be tightened more evenly. So then just pick the kind of the location you want it. Make sure it clicks all the way in, and then just snug them all back up to spec. All right. There we have it. That is a cold air intake install, and it should be all fresh and ready to go now. So everything is done, all set.